All right, so we're going off the cuff a little. Probably not one take wonder. I'm probably going to edit this a little bit, but this is meant to be sort of like an introductory video. I've been thinking a lot about 2021 and what I want to do this year. Not just like the classic business goals and accomplishments and things like that, but more so like doing things more for fun. I guess that was part of my 2021 thoughts and what I wanted to be good at or rather be better at. I think I've been a little too focused perhaps on sort of like business stuff traditionally, and it hasn't even like gone that well, so what's the point? But one thing I was thinking a lot about this year, I did like my little goal setting at the beginning of the year, was a lot about YouTube. So if you're watching this, you're on YouTube, so you're a little like me. And I thought a lot about starting a YouTube channel. It's sort of like this daunting, like, thing. And I've made YouTube videos in the past. I've certainly watched my fair share of YouTube videos, so no shortage of that. And there's this guy named Ali Abdaal who runs a sort of like YouTube academy, like how to start a YouTube channel and why. And I just always thought it would be fun. I've always thought it would be fun. I always thought it would be enjoyable. But I never was really sure like what I would make sort of my channel's topic specifically about. And when I was listening to Ali talk a lot about his channel and how he got started, it was really inspiring. And specifically because Ali started with this like niche he was a medical student, or he was applying to medical school at the time, at Cambridge University. Oh, am I getting a little glare? I hope not. One sec, I'm gonna pause this. Okay, all good. So Ali started with this, I am getting a little glare, so I'm gonna try screw it. So Ali started with this niche, and his niche was people who were in the UK and trying to get into med school, and that was like all he talked about. Like, here's the medical exams and how to pass them and how to do this stuff. And I was like, wow, what a tiny little subsect of people. Like, that must have been such a small niche for him. And so I was really inspired by that. And I've wanted to do this for a long time, like I said. And I think a lot of this is like overcoming barriers and whatnot. But also I feel like I actually got to a point, I guess you could say like got to a point with what I'm doing that I want to share with the world. Maybe that sounds sort of lofty. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to learn to code, and that's been a 2-year journey for me. I started taking it kind of seriously, I would say January 2019, through this mentorship program from a guy named Ryan Kulp. And Ryan Kulp is someone I really admire and look up to. He's a self-taught developer who has started like, I don't know, who knows how many businesses, maybe like 20 businesses at this point. He's just prolific in his ability to start things. And his whole mantra was about learning to code as a mechanism for freedom. And so it's been for me 2 years, essentially. It's January 2021 when I'm posting this video. It's been 2 years of kind of taking it off and on seriously. It's been longer than that I've been thinking about learning to code. And weirdly, like a lot of my friends, if not pretty much every one of my close friends here in Denver, has gone through a coding boot camp and actually become an engineer for some period of time. So a lot of my peers are doing it, but I think about this through a different lens, and that lens is one that's sort of unique to Ryan. And the program that he created, which is how I got into this, was like, we don't want to use learning to code, or rather the ability to code, to get a job. That's actually the opposite goal. The goal is to use coding to sort of earn freedom. And freedom, to define however you want, but my definition in this particular case is the fact that you don't depend on anybody. So freedom, it's partially money, but it's also partially just being able to do whatever you want, kind of whenever you want. And the coding boot camps that are out there right now, nearly all of them, if not all of them, are oriented around, hey, learn to code and also like really quickly, and then go get a job and go get paid. And yeah, that's certainly one route. I'm not hating on that route. I'm not saying that doesn't work for people, that people haven't been successful. My peers have been successful doing that. But just for me, the reason in the first place I want to learn to code is so that I don't have to work for anyone else. I want to work for myself. What that really means is that I want the market to be my boss. And Naval tweeted about this, but I want to work for the market, and then I want to build things, and I want to have customers for those things, and that's it, and nothing else. Maybe employees and maybe other things down the line, but so that's a very long-winded way of saying that's what I care about. That's what I'm doing. And in October, so about 3 months ago, I quit my full-time job. I decided to go all in on learning to code, and that's what I'm doing. I don't currently work. I do a bit of consulting right now to keep like some funds coming in, but I'm extremely focused on learning to code. And there's a ton of different resources that I've used in the last 2 years to get further and further along that journey. Frankly, I think I could have done this earlier, but I needed to build up savings and create the ability to quit and take it like, full-time seriously. I couldn't have done that unless I had done what I did the last year or so, but now I can. So I think this channel is going to be like similar to Ali's in that niche. Like I think my channel for now will at least be about, hey, are you someone who wants to learn to code, A, and B, wants to learn to code so that you can build products and be free, and independent and a creator and all that great stuff. Because I just don't see a lot of people talking about this. Like the self-taught coders are the ones that are off maybe doing this and being creators, and they're not sort of talking about the process by which they arrived at some level of competence in Ruby or JavaScript or whatever, and how they built their first product or second product. The only person I really see doing this a little bit is Ryan Culp, but he's now becoming a Korean pop star. So more on that later. But yeah, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna talk about it. All I can do is share what I'm up to, what I'm using, how it's going, what's working well, what's not working well, in the hopes that I can help some other folks do what I'm doing. I've come from a pretty diverse background of jobs, from finance and different places, and I'm heading kind of toward the cryptocurrency sphere. That's where I find, or blockchain more broadly, that's where I find the most interesting opportunities. And if you want to be part of that revolution in that future, in my opinion, table stakes is just knowing how to code, or else you can't really be that relevant. So that's pretty much it. I'm here because I want to share experiences about learning to code, to be free, to go from, as Ryan says, from employee to founder, or rather, sorry, that's not true. I misspoke. So not to go from employee to founder, go from employee to owner. That's the key piece. Becoming cancel proof, that's super important, and I think that's why freedom is part of the equation here. Not trying to get a job, ways to keep the lights on without taking full-time roles. Yeah, and then like the whole mental transition, creating, first product, making my first dollar, all that is yet to come. So that's pretty much it. That's the whole spiel. Hope you guys enjoy, and